right, namaste. I'm glad you're joining me for yin. Um, so yesterday was September 21st, and I don't know if that date rings a bell with you, but it is the International Day of Peace. When I owned a studio, we always did something to celebrate this day. It was a time where we even kind of teamed up with Lululemon and closed down downtown Franklin and had a couple big yoga events there. But anyway, yesterday was International Day of Peace. It's something the United Nations came together to create. The yoga community started using it and using a term called global mala. So if you remember, like the mala beads that sometimes we sit and meditate with, breath by breath, bead by bead, or a mantra with each bead, that's what a mala is. And so the idea of the global mala is for everyone to come together, meditators to come together, yogis to join together, and to practice purposely cultivating some inner peace, knowing that what we do at a micro level is going to have an impact at the macro level. And, I just opened up the news this morning, and Putin's threatening, nuclear war again. And so basically, we are needing to establish this idea of world peace again. So that's what I want us to focus on today while we're in our positioning, while we're creating some quietude in the mind, is just clearing out any of the disturbing or chaotic or noise in the mind so that we're coming into that place of peace. And the other thing I wanted to mention is today, September 22nd, is the fall equinox or autumn equinox. Sometimes it lands on the 21st, sometimes it lands on the 22nd. I don't know if you've stepped outside today, but it's not as blazing hot, which is really lovely. So we get to welcome in a new season. So I think that's it. Okay, I'll meet you on the mat. All right, we're going to go ahead and start off in a pose today. Your left leg is going to be extended, and your right hip is going to be open with your foot alongside your knee. So just to be clear about this, if you have a history of, a herniated disc in your back, you want to flex your ankle, keep the back straight, the belly hugging in. But if you have a healthy back, you can join me in the yin approach, which is inhale, floating the arms up overhead, softening the left knee and ankle. And then on the out breath, we're just pouring and raining down towards the knee. The back of your hands can reside on the ground as your head droops. Close your eyes. And remember, in yin, you don't always want to go to 100% of your edge in the flexibility. So if you find that you are, maybe you want to back up just a little. And then eventually, the longer we remain, you can sink lower. Now, when you close your eyes, soften your face, your mouth, your jaw, your tongue. Yes, you're going to experience the stretch in your hamstrings, but it's also more of the fascia, the connective tissue that we're trying to open and expand. Begin your mindful breath work. And as you're beginning to breathe in and out the nose, try to see if you can elongate your out breaths. The state of surrender that it can promote can also help us to promote that state of inner peace so that we can be the change we wish to see in the world. And I know I mentioned Putin's statement earlier, and I know this is difficult to do if you're calloused towards someone, but I want you to try to picture him in your mind's eye and just send him some light. Because it's only if you're in a dark space in your mind or heart that you would even consider that option. So he needs to be surrounded with light. We need our light to pierce his heart. We're going to end this with 3 cleansing breaths. So breathe in through your nose. Let it escape through your mouth. In through the nose. Sigh it out. One more. Now turn your palms down, lift your head up, and walk the hands back in towards your center. All right, we're going to elevate the right knee, and you're going to flex that left ankle. Now you have an option to either place the peace mudra around the big toe like this, or you have the option to hold the pinky toe side of the foot with a nice hand grip. Excuse me. On your out breath, you're going to pull back with your arm, which drives that knee under. And then on the inhale, we're going to stretch the leg out. Now, you may not be able to get it perfectly straight, and that's okay. Exhale, draw back, like pulling the bow pose. Inhale, push out through the heel. And you're just going to do this a couple more times. Now, once you're back here, relax the shoulder from the face, press down through your left thigh bone, lift up through the top of the head and the breastbone, extend your left arm out, pulling the bow pose. Take the left hand to the foot and bring it around in front of you. And then extend your right arm out, another variation of pulling the bow pose. Right hand to right knee, or you can create your cradle hold, or you can take the arms and cup up underneath your calf. Either way, lift up energetically, and you're going to squeeze in towards your heart. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze. Power 3. And then rock the baby side to side. Now from rock the baby, we're going to set the leg over the left. So this is half shoelace. And again, straight back, active if you need to protect your back. If you want to be true to yin, lift the arms up. Exhale, collapse over. Notice how much more way down the straight leg is compared to that first pose that we took. Now it has some weight bearing. Now you're going to feel it maybe in your knee. If that's too much for your knee, you can always put a blanket or rolled up towel underneath. Close your eyes. We just experienced a harvest, a full moon in September. In fact, we're moving into the new moon this weekend. But the harvest moon is all about obviously harvest time for crops. But if you want to bring it in another way, consider maybe all the places you've been this year, all the things that you might have done this year, and whether or not you're seeing some of that reward. The legs, the first chakra, are about moving beyond our past, taking those steps forward. Go back to quieting the mind, focusing on your breath as it rolls in and out. Just that simple observation, if you're fully concentrating on it, that alone can promote some inner peace. On your next inhale, plug the hands down into the floor, slowly back away from that stretch. Now this is where we're going to take that right foot alongside the hip for half saddle, and I know that can be a lot. So if your knee or ankle or quads are screaming no to this, even if you're sitting on a block or blanket, then I would come out and come back here. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to find that bolster and we're going to put it behind us. And you may not even get to the bolster, but just leaning back into the hands to test the water and maybe rolling all the way down if that feels supportive. So again, you can alternate the half saddle and change it up to a half butterfly. Please take note, if you are in half saddle, where is the, I don't like to call it a problem, but for today, for lack of better terms, what's the problem? Is it in the front of the leg? Is it located more in the knee? Is it in your foot? And just be aware of where those pockets are that you need to be more cautious with. Let's just take 3 more breaths. And then you'll lift the head up, walk the hands back, and use upper body strength to rise out. Lean to the left hip so you can remove that right foot and then place it on the ground in front of you. Or if you were here, you just lift the knee. All right, this is where you may potentially need a strap. I'm going to show you without a strap first. Your left hand will actually take a hold of the outer right foot, and we're not only stretching it out, but we're sending it across the bottom side, the bottom leg. And this is where the strap could come in really useful. I just taught this class at the studio and someone said, I have short arms. And I said, well, that's why we have straps. So you can extend more through your arm, or you can bring the leg lower, right? If it's tighter here. And then when you're ready, lift up through the top of the head, take the right arm in front before winding your way around to the right into a spinal twist. Exhale, unwind, and set the right foot down. All right, we can now go into the other side. So bend your left knee, open out from the hip, half butterfly. Determine, do you want to be yin or yang? Preparing on the inhale and entering into it on the exhale. So in one of those earlier poses, we were talking about the harvest moon and it maybe taking stock of this year thus far. If there's anything that you haven't done or haven't been that was maybe on your list or part of your goals, consider for a moment if you're on the same trajectory to get to there, if you have been rerouted, if you were diverted somehow, or perhaps you're still on that conscious path. Breathing calmly, calmly breathing.
And let's take 3 cleansing breaths, breathing in through the nose, out all the way through the mouth. Twice more. Flipping the hands down, walking them back in. When you're ready, lifting up that left knee. So again, this is where peace mudra with your left hand around the big toe, or just hold the outer edge of the foot. So we're lifting it up, stretching it out on the inhale, pulling it to the underside of that left arm on the exhale. And we're just moving back and forth between straightening and bending. Now you could technically use a strap for this too. But if you're feeling the stretch, even with the knee bent, please don't force it. If you're able to use your hand and you feel the work, it's enough. So now pulling the bow pose, releasing the right arm, lifting up through the right toes, and finding somewhere to focus your eyes. And then bring the foot over to catch it in your right hand, free up your left hand, and settle the shoulders down. From here, you can take the left hand to the knee. You can cradle it with your arms, or again, hook the arms under the calf. So there are several options. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, you're squeezing the leg closer to your heart. Twice more. Rock the baby side to side. And this is where we're gonna casually, cautiously lower that leg so it's half shoelace. Active or passive, yogi's choice, opening up on the in-breath and releasing on the out-breath. Try to create a double count on your exhalations. Patience as it unravels. Patience as we linger in this pose, just a few more breaths. And turn your hands down, walk it in. This is where we're gonna do that little fancy maneuver of coming into that quad stretch, stacking on top of the left foot and it's located beside your left hip. Again, too much resistance. If it's painful, please don't do it. Come back here to half butterfly. Now this is where if you want to just lean back into your hands, that may be enough. If you want to roll down to a bolster, then enjoy. So when we work the quad stretches, we're definitely targeting the stomach meridian. But I want you to feel the pressure on the top of the foot. And there's 4 meridians that start at the top of the foot. So it's the stomach that I already mentioned, but it's also the liver, kidney, and spleen meridians. Just a few more. Walk the hands in, peel the head up, and press all the way up to sit. And you may want to send the bolster to the side. All right, we're going to release the left foot. And this is where, again, you can use that strap or you can use your right hand to take the outer edge of the foot and you're sending it across the bottom leg. You're lifting up through the heart, sending your left arm out before rotating around to the left. Exhale, unwind and release. Okay, we're going to bend the knees. Now, this may or may not work for you to get up into this pose, but get into it the best you can. The way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to push myself up. So the heels are off the floor, the balls of the feet are down. And keep your hands to the floor for now. And determine, do you want to be here Or do you want to rock the knees to the floor and sit up in Thai goddess? And I know this is intense. And it's so intense, I'm not going to stay here very long. So I have bunions, so my feet are not always happy here. If they start off happy, they don't stay that way. So yeah, like right now, I'm getting the warning sign. So I'm going to lean down and I'm going to rock back, toe balance. Now I'm going to try to stack the hands onto the knees and erect the spine. If you need to lean down and use your hands for balance, that's okay though. You can even bring your hands to Namaste of the heart. Either one of those poses is great for the fascia of the feet. And then we'll place the hands forward. We'll lower the heels down. We'll have a bend in the knees for dangling pose. Now in dangling pose, remember the arms can release like a rag doll. You can also cup a hold of your elbows. Even though the knees are bent, if you want more in the back of the legs, you can pick up your seat slightly. From dangling, we're going to plant the palms, step into plank. Be here in plank. And then go ahead and drop the knees, separate your feet out, lower down to the top of your legs, slide your hands out wider than shoulder distance. So you're stacked on the rim of the pelvis, the hip bones, the pubic bone. And if your low back is saying, no, please don't be here, then come down to Sphinx. Or if that's still too much, prayer hands. One of those three options should be fine. Each day is different because of how life shows up in the body. So for instance, you could have had a similar practice maybe a couple days ago and your body felt great. But then maybe yesterday was stressful, or maybe you didn't get enough sleep, or maybe you got a phone call that aggravated you, or whatever. It can change it up day to day. Even what we eat, right? Because I've recognized if I have too much sugar, my joints hurt. Since we're in a heart opening pose, maybe put a little bit more emphasis on your in-breath. On your exhalation, we're going to roll down. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Pull the feet closer together. Push up to table. And then exhale immediately to downward facing dog. You need to reposition the feet or find your alignment. Do so now. I look forward towards your hands. Step the feet wide and behind the hands. Drop down like squat. You could also sit on a block. You can also, some days, it just feels good to sit on the floor. So you can do the floor, block, or hover. Come on down. Now the feet are going to walk out. And then let's start here. Because you can see this better from this angle. Bring the right foot in front of you. Now please know that you can use a strap for this. So if you want to use a strap, you basically take it around that foot, the left foot, and then you're taking that left arm to push the left hip back, and then you're straightening out the leg to the side. To do it without the strap, I take the right arm over to catch the left toes, and then I use my left arm to shove the leg back, straighten out the leg, and then roll open through the right shoulder and look beneath. This is called compass pose. I know it's a tough one. Just do your best. And then release. And then we'll set the left foot in front and stand on the right foot. So again, you can use the strap with your left hand. The right arm will shove the right leg back, and you'll look up underneath the left arm. Or pick up the foot with your right hand. Left arm circles over to find the top of it. Push the hip open. Straighten out through the leg, and it may not be perfect. Compass. And then release. All right, so we started with half butterfly. Now that had a twisting element. We're going to do a counter and we're going to fold over for butterfly. If you need the feet to be closer, the back straighter, do the cobbler pose. And if you can round, do the butterfly pose. Let's slowly unfurl the back and draw up. And I just have one more before Shavasana. So I'm going to turn to face you now. We're going to use the strap one more time. So I need to undo this one. Well, maybe not. We'll try without. You want to hold the strap wider than your knees. And you're going to lift the arms up. And you're going to take the arms back. Now, if you get stuck, say here, you're going to widen your grip until you can get the arms just behind your shoulder blades. Or the strap, rather, behind the shoulder blades. Your arms won't be able to go behind your shoulder blades, but you understand what I'm saying. And just, oh my goodness, feel how it opens up the connective tissues of the chest. It also stretches the pectoral muscles in the chest. Remember, we're trying to promote our inner state of peace despite what is happening out there. So that if we're established in peace, even if the world's crumbling around us, we are safe, we are good, and we are in that perfect place of peace. All right, inhale, lift the arms. Whew, that was big. And I thought today, since we worked more in the lower body, we could land in a restorative back bend. If that doesn't speak to you, then you can do another pose. So let's go ahead and find the position we want for our rest. Once you get comfortable, I'll give you just a little guidance.
Breathing in, I invite peace in. Breathing out, I hold on to that peace. Breathing in, I breathe in peace. Breathing out, I send out peace. Breathing in, I feel at peace. Breathing out, I surrender to peace. Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. Peace in, peace out. In and out.
On your next inhale, go ahead and begin to create movement in your feet, hands, or both. Eventually bending the knees, rolling away to one side. And if you would join me in a comfortable seat on the bolster. And once you're sitting upright, circle the arms overhead, bending the elbows, palms together. Parvantasana, the seated mountain pose. Let's do a little breath work. Take a deep breath in. Draw the navel in and up. Hold and retain the breath ever so briefly, and then release. Breathing in. Hold. And let it go. One more. Normalizing the breath, staying in position, and affirming my thoughts of peacefulness rise up and away into the sky. My feelings of peacefulness move into mass consciousness. My waves of peace are being sent across the world. Lowering the hands back to prayer position at your heart. Feel free to join in this chant if you'd like, taking a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We all step away from this practice, being free and at peace from anything out of our control, anything imposed upon us by another, or any concerns of our own. Om peace, peace, peace. Namaste.